Welcome to NAMM 2020. My name is Florentino. I am the host of the Changing Stage Show, also CEO of Intertalk Media, and we are broadcasting on Intertalk Media here at the show from the streaming stage. And it's an amazing day. This is all big picture stuff today. So less about the gear, more about where we're going as an industry. But we also have the amazing players, and we have the players who are becoming editors at large, people who want to make a voice to help power this industry. I have my good friend, my brother, my bass mentor. I can keep going all day long. We have Mr. Bunny Brunel. You know him. This man has played with some of the most iconic players in the world, from Stevie Wonder to Chick Corea to Tony Williams, if you're a big drummer fan. So, Bunny, welcome. Welcome to the Changing Stage Show.
Well, I'm so glad I made it here. But it's funny when I arrived, because I've been at the NAMM show for forever. And I arrived and I felt like...
I thought you were like 20 years old, man.
Yeah, I felt like I never left.
Right? Well, 4 days seems like a month.
We never left from last year. I think it's a continuation, On top of it, the 2019 went so far, so fast, It's just like, oh, I'm here again. Oh my God! So at least, alive and kicking. So that's a good thing.
That is definitely a good thing. So I've interviewed you many times about different things in your career. I've first met you over at Carvin, and you've been a iconic artist, and that is in itself just stellar. But you are now an editor at large for an emerging bass magazine, which in this day and age it's revolutionary and also traditional in the same breath, because people are not taking the time to make beautiful editorial copy like this.
Yeah, I'm such good looking, they put me on the cover. That's what it is.
They did. But they partnered with you to start really bringing home the passion to drive an interest in virtuosity of instrument playing.
Yes,
more, for you, it's just bass. That's what this magazine is all about. Helping the established players, but also the young players, to understand who has come before that they should recognize, and the stories and the performances. You've been sharing amazing MP3s with me in the past few days, and like I said, we mentioned Tony Williams performances. Tell me about your passion to help educate people about virtuosity in their playing and things that they should know.
Well, since the beginning, I've been giving lessons. I wrote a bunch of books, videos, and things like that to guide people when they pick up a bass. How you're going to hold it? What is the right hand fingering, the left hand fingering, to actually make it easier on them. Because I went through the whole thing myself and had to correct the positions, trying to figure out. I used to practice like 10 hours a day. And then you end up with a carpal tunnel syndrome because of the positions like that. So I changed it all, and I tell people they should do that. Try to avoid angles here, then you won't have the problem. Yeah. And that's the first thing. That's why you can see me on the early video, like in the 60s or whatever, playing with the bass in that position, a little upright. Yeah. It's funny because the first time I saw a picture of Bootsy Collins, he actually was also playing like that. Hey, he did the same thing as me. It's funny. Yeah. We're talking about way back then, so anyway.
Well, I learned that position. I'm a bass player too, folks, so when I do get a chance to play bass, I learned from Bunny, you got to play like this, not down here like this. Yeah. At least if you want to be able to keep your hands and wrist and
especially for the phrasing and things like that, you got to hold it a certain way, because if you're like that, it's not going to happen. It's funny because Stanley plays like that, and he told me, I don't know why, I have no problem doing it. He's playing with his hand like that, has no problem.
But his fingers are about like that long.
Yeah, he's got 1 inch longer than mine, So anyway, so that's why since the beginning I wanted to show people how to hold the instrument and what to practice, what you're gonna do if you're starting, what you're gonna do, and all that. And then I wrote a bunch of different books and explain people how to improvise. And then I went into complicated stuff, you know, for the people who are looking for something else. So, as I say, I've been doing that for quite a while. The idea on the magazine, it's because I read all the time. People come out with some magazines and all that, and they mention whoever is hip, whatever, and it's okay. But I think it's important to mention the people that created styles, you know. I always mention, you know, it's just like when I start playing the bass, you had the Beatles, you know, bam, bam, boom, bam, bam. And then I was listening to James Brown, and you have the bass line, you know, boom, beady-doo-doo, beady-doo, bo, 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 or but-it-good, better. That was like the bass lines, you know, like
that was
incredible.
A line.
The bass player name was Bernard Odom.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's my first name, Bernard, as well. And that guy is one of the guys who actually set up how to play the funk bass. There's about 10 bass players after him that came out with that style, you know. They always talk about, they have a tendency always to pick up one guy and talk about, no. There's about 10 bass players that are never mentioned that actually are the one that created the style, you know, that everybody else copied, including me, you know what I mean? So I wanted to do things like that, you know, talking about virtuoso jazz players, but also I want to talk about people that really created the style, you know, the funk style, and that created the way to play the bass that is totally different.
And I think that's super important. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we were talking earlier with Don Lombardi from DW.
Yes.
And what, you know, because he has the drum channel, he wants to educate people, and that's probably one of the biggest things that's come out of these big picture interviews is education is a key, because the younger generation, to go back to Stanley, I took a group of college kids to see Stanley. There were like 6 of them, 6 bass players. None of them knew who he was.
Incredible.
and that's just such a challenge. So I think that's why the magazine's so important, because I know it's going to come in digital form as well. You've got the printed copy, and it's, you know, there's nothing like tactile though. I think this is being able to touch it, feel it, look at the beautiful picture of Bunny. So these are all fun things. But you know, I think it's important to share the history of where the people who pretty much blazed the trail for what we now know as music.
Yes, not only that, but like that they can, with the internet, it's easy to come and listen to some of those bass lines that they realize, you know, oh, right, this is hip and all that. Yeah. And as I said, because you have those people who started the movement, they came out with so much thing, you know, it's incredible. And for me, that was the first thing, playing the bass. And then I got into playing upright bass, so I was playing jazz, and I was listening at the time to the people playing bass solo. It was kind of a drum type of solo, boom, 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 boom. It was the mystery solo, I call them. And I decided, no, I want to play a solo. I want to play like a Coltrane, like Herbie Hancock. I want to play phrasing, and I start practicing to do that. You know, I was practicing playing phrase and things, arpeggio and things like that. I should say arpeggio, plural, you know, and things like that. And one day, a friend of mine said, "Oh, listen to that guy." He put a record. It was live at Montreux, Bill Evans. It was a bass solo, Ambrosable You, Eddie Gomez. I was like, oh my God, that's it. I'm in the right direction. I'm doing the right thing. It's possible. The guy was just freaking unbelievable.
See, I don't think people are getting that kind of inspiration from the icons like we did back in the day.
Yeah.
I want to see the younger people understand where it came from. What they do is they look at somebody who is kind of more of a peer and see what they kind of sort of did, and they try to emulate that, and they go back and forth, which is good, but it's not even in person. They need to do it in person. So I think that's the key. Like what you said, we keep showing the magazine here because I want people to pick it up, learn about icons. Even younger players. We got Kyle Eastwood.
Kyle Eastwood, the son of Clint Eastwood. This is one of my students, you know. helped him with the electric bass and the acoustic bass. A great bass player, touring all around the world.
Came out with a new album.
He's got a brand new album and all that. And so anyway, just help people and show them that it's possible to come out with your own thing, starting, but it's good if you have something to listen to and all that. When I started, there was nothing. I'm totally self-taught. I just went to the conservatory, the Nice Classical Conservatory, because I started playing the upright bass, and I figured, well, maybe I should ask how the hell you play the bow. And so I went and learned, how to play the bow and all that. It was a 3 years course.
Wow.
Because I was playing for quite a while before.
And you're not going to learn that on YouTube.
No. So the first month, I was on the first year, The second month, they moved me on the second year. And the third month, they put me on the third year. Because, I had the thing, it's for me, there was the bass, so I just had to practice, playing classical pieces and all that. But everything else is totally self-taught. The harmony, the improvisation and things like that. Because I start with the piano, so I had a piano at home. I was always banging, trying to figure things out. So, but it's not everybody who can do that. That's why it's good if you have somebody showing you the way. Because I had to really cut the trees they're trying to go through. So, but I think that's why I want to help people, because you show them something and then they'll take it somewhere else and make even better. So, I mean, people who play nowadays, at the beginning, you had I'm going to use. Patrick Moraz, the keyboard of Yes and all that. He was, when he met me, he said, there is Jaco, Jeff Berlin, Stanley, and you, and that's it. And it was, doing that. There was
the Godfathers of Fusion.
And we kind of opened, the crate there, and now you have those people that play amazing. I was listening. Somebody posted a bass solo. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. The guy is playing a Michael Brecker solo on the bass. It's just incredible.
Wow.
He's playing note for note. He's playing the whole solo. It was like so, and I'm proud to say that I'm part of that creation. Because people never thought in the '60s that they could do anything like it.
So, as we're kind of coming to a close of the interview here, what kind of pieces should we expect for the future of Bass Virtuoso magazine?
Well, basically, I want to talk about as I mentioned, all those people that have been forgotten that created, most of the bass lines and the soloists and things like that. That's why I have a little bit my first favorite, Eddie Gomez. I have something on Eddie Gomez. I have my friend Stanley in there, but there is other people I will talk about and mention. There is so many. I'd like to do something with Ron Carter. I mean, the jazz music is not happening without that guy. I mean, we're talking about the best sound, the bass lines, the timing and all that. Incredible. They're the people, but there's also another one that people tend to forget. You have Miroslav Vitush.
Yes.
Miroslav Vitush created Weather Report with Zawinul and Wayne Shorter.
Yeah.
He's the creator, and he's the one who actually set up that thing where the bass was not holding the bass line all the time. It was a kind of a discussion with the other player. Yeah. He's the one who set that up. That was the perfect place for Jaco when he came in. That was the perfect. And they never mentioned that guy. On top of it, of all the Virtuoso, is the best soloist on the acoustic bass with the bow. He's so good that you have classical people who takes license from him. He's so good. We're talking about like a serious. And I want to do on the next version. I want to interview him and talk about all the things he created. Because that's an amazing bass player that the people forget. But if you want to listen to somebody soloing with the bow, listen to that guy. It's just like incredible.
Well, I'm hoping that today's generation will pick the magazine up, learn about the amazing players, as Bunny helps to infuse history, past, present, and future
That's
into
right.
virtuosity of bass playing. So thank you, brother.
All
I
right.
really appreciate you.
We could be talking for 4 more hours,
we
but
could.
we have to go.
we got a chain of all these different people coming.
You know.
It's just a pre-launch spring.
Oh, so we just got notified. It's pre-launch. You can pick it up in spring. So make sure you guys look for it online. They'll be putting out all kinds of ways for you to find out about Bass Virtuoso magazine. My brother, Bunny Brunel, love him. Check out his albums with Cab, his amazing group, concerts, you name it. If you want to hear how bass is in the most artistic form, Bunny Brunel.
Yes, and as I tell to all the kids, you know, soloing is great, but don't forget to play the bass. If you want to have a gig, you got to play the bass, the pocket. You know, that's why you have a lot of people that don't play solos, but they are working all the time. You know, it's just a great player. Lee Sklar is one of those. That guy can play the bass, and he's always
does.
working because he's playing the bass. You know, so don't forget, you know, it's nice to be able to play a solo, but the most important thing is playing the bass is to play the bass, you know, the pocket.
Well, thank you, brother. This has
right.
been the Changing Stage Show. My name's Florentino, Bunny Brunel, Intertalk Media, NAMM 2020. Stay tuned for the next guest. We're out.